Hi, Marley.
He's in your
How
shop.
are you?
He's in your shop.
You want some gem bites? Now, before we dive into this Q&A, let me thank Jem for sponsoring this video and being part of my healthy lifestyle routine. Every morning before my workout, my routine is simple: a tall glass of water, my coffee, and my daily Gem multivitamin. Gem is more than just a vitamin. It's a real whole food in a bite-sized form, packed with all essential nutrients my body needs to thrive. No synthetic fillers, no capsules, just plant-based feel-good ingredients that fuel my day from inside out. And let me also share with you the Calm Chill Out Magnesium Bite. This is a game changer for busy, stressful days. With magnesium, adaptogens, and plant-based ingredients, it helps me feel relaxed and balanced without slowing me down. Whether it's to wind down in the evening or find calm in a hectic day, this bite has been my go-to. The best part? Gem's Bite are so convenient. I toss them in my bag and I'm good to go. No hassle, no bulky bottles. This fit perfectly into my busy lifestyle. Ready to elevate your wellness routine? Head over to the description box below and use my discount code MyVeganKitchenLife for 50% off your first month's supply. Trust me, your body and your busy schedule will thank you. All right, guys, we're on the couch. I thought it would be the perfect time for a little Q&A, especially because that kitchen is being remodeled and I don't have anywhere to cook right now except for my hot plate. So great time for questions. I always wanted to sit down and have these Q&As because you guys ask a lot of questions. Plus me, I would be curious too. I would be curious. I would want to know some questions about the person that I'm following, watching them cook meals and stuff. I'd be like, what else is going on in their lives? I have some questions written down. Yes, I have it old school written down. No, I don't have it in my phone. I took these questions actually from the last Q&A that I did. I did a live and you guys are still asking these questions. So here they go. The first one, which so many of you ask over and over and over and over again, is how old are you? Guys, I am 53 years old and a very happy, healthy 53 years old. Now, I'm 53 going through menopause. So guys, if I get a hot flash, which I'm going through right now, just bear with me. I have 2 children, a son and a daughter. My son is 28, my daughter is 26. I am married. I've been married for 30 years. Happily married for 30 years to my college sweetheart. And here is question number 2. Another one that I get a lot. And I guess it gets confusing because sometimes every now and then I'll drop my accent and some of you are like, are you? Aren't you? The recipes that I present have a little bit of Caribbean flair. So I was born in Jamaica, West Indies. I moved to the United States, or my family immigrated to the United States in 1980. So that's a long time ago. I was about 10 years old, around 10 or 11 years old. So a while ago. When we migrated here, we moved to New York and we lived in the Bronx. And it was a culture shock because we moved to the South Bronx. Yes, 163rd and Trinity Ave. So for those of you who are from the South Bronx, y'all know, if you know, you know. After a couple of years or so, we moved uptown and most of my growing up was living on East 227th Street between Paulding and Laconia. And if you know, you know, I was right by Edenwald Projects. That's question number 2. The number 3 most asked question, and I guess because so many of you are thinking of going plant-based or vegan, so the number 3 question is, when did I decide to go vegan or plant-based? Now guys, that is a story in itself because it didn't just happen overnight. The first time that I decided to go vegan, I was probably about 20 years old. And at that time, the reason for me going vegan, I didn't feel healthy. When I was a teenager, I had the worst acne. I mean, really, really poor skin. And I probably was around 15 or 16 or so. And I remember my dad, he went back to Jamaica for a little vacation, and he went to, and some of you might identify with this, he went to a Rasta man. And the Rasta man gave him some herbs and a soap. And he brought it back and he said, Michelle, the man said for you to wash your face with this soap, leave the bubbles on your skin, let it dry, and drink this tea every day. Now, I don't know what kind of combination of bush tea it was, but I knew at that age it had to do with food. Now, I drank the tea, I used the soap, and my skin cleared up. So that was a little bit of a connection. Even though I'm young, I'm not understanding what's going on, I had an idea that food had something to do with my breakout, so it must have something to do with healing the body. So that's why when I was about like 20, I decided, at the time I was dating my husband, and I said to him, you know what, I think we should go vegan. Now, if you guys can imagine back then, we're talking about like 30 something years ago, there was not as many choices, food choices, or even information about being vegan. When I did it, I didn't call it vegan. We just kind of did what Rastafarians did, and it was just eat ital. And eating ital means you just don't eat any meat. So I hate using the term vegan sometimes, because for me, it was mostly based on my health and food. It wasn't encompass of everything that is veganism, meaning like not wearing animal, like leather or anything like that. It was mostly because of my health. Like I said, when I did it, it was hard. It was hard because I didn't have any knowledge behind it. I remember cooking curried chickpeas over and over and over again. So obviously we got bored, and I fell out of doing that, and we decided to just go pescatarian. The story gets deeper because now I am pescatarian, and I get pregnant with my first child, my son, and I decide to stay pescatarian throughout that pregnancy. I craved a lot of tomatoes though, so I ate a lot of tomatoes. Tomatoes, hard-dough bread, and lemonade. That was like my thing. Yeah, so pescatarian with him, had the baby, wanted to go back, and I was like, I don't feel good. I want to be vegan again. But I didn't go all the way. I kind of stayed pescatarian. My kids are 2 years apart, so 2 years later, got pregnant with my daughter. With her, though, I craved meat. With my son, I didn't crave meat. With my daughter, I craved buffalo chicken wings over and over and over again. So I not only had buffalo chicken wings, I went back to eating beef. With my daughter, I ate a lot of meat. I decided, again, not feeling well. And now that I look back, the reason that I kept going back to being vegan was because I just felt depressed. Within my soul, it just didn't feel right. If I had stomach issues, I was bloated, I was tired, and I was just so depressed. So I decided to go vegan after having her. While I was vegan at the time, my family wasn't, my kids wasn't. The reason why I really decided to go hardcore again at that time was my son was having behavioral issues in pre-K. Very hyper, crazy hyper. And the teacher wanted us to come in to have a conversation. They wanted to test him to see if, there was something wrong with. She suggested that I check his lunchbox, just check what the kids were eating, because she was under the impression that the food had to be contributing to his hyperactivity. So I did. And, I thought I was being the good mother. I sending him to school with his lunchbox filled with treats and, little juice boxes and all those things that I thought was, that's what you do. And to find out that the food was what was causing him to be hyper. The juice was high in sugar. Most of the food was processed. It wasn't right at all. So I remember why I decided to have my kids become vegan, because my kids grew up vegan. So what gave me this bright idea that not only I was gonna be vegan, but I was gonna make my kids vegan also at the time, or plant-based. You know, I keep going back and forth with those terms. I remember taking them to the library. I think it was like every Wednesday and Thursday night for story time. While they were doing their story time, I would, walk the aisles of the library, and I was like, I want a favorite book to read. And I started, I love cooking, so I went down the cooking aisle and ended up in the nutrition area. As I started to read those books, I realized that the food that we were eating were killing us. And all of the information about nutrition and ingredients was right there in the library, in the books. So I started reading and finding out all these things about the different foods that I was eating and how it was affecting our bodies. And at that moment, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna throw everything out from my refrigerator and the pantry, and I'm gonna start over. And that's what I did. And that was my mistake. Not having enough knowledge behind what I was doing. I was just learning. I went right for the processed food. So even though I wasn't eating meat, I wasn't eating the healthiest. Again, I went off of being vegan. I remember this time distinctly when I decided, that's it. I can't do this anymore. I felt like my body was crashing. And I remember this, and it was 10 years ago, and it was Thanksgiving. So if you guys are familiar with the Publix smoked turkey, I think it's like, it might be a deep fried turkey, but it's a smoked turkey. And I remember we would always have this on Thanksgiving. When I tell you, I love this thing, right? And I remember this Thanksgiving, I had the smoked turkey, and I felt like, and I'm gonna curse, I felt like shit afterwards. I felt really, really sick. By this time, I remember my son was in his first year of college, and I remember him calling, just to check up on us, and he goes, hey, how you doing? Baby, I don't feel good. I don't know what it is. I just don't feel good. I think I'm gonna do like a detox, or I'm gonna do something because my stomach just don't feel right. I don't know what to do. And he said to me, have you ever watched the documentary, it's so Jamaican, right? It's coming out, the documentary, What the Health? And I was like, no, I've never heard of it. He said, all right, I'm gonna send you the link. It's on Netflix. Watch the documentary and see if that helps you. Guys, now some of you are having that haha moment, like, oh my God, me too, because so many people watched it and had the same feeling I had. The moment I watched it, it all clicked. At that moment, I knew this is what I had to do for me. So literally, in probably about a week, the puffiness in my face went away. I started having more energy. I just started feeling better, and I was like, it can't be. And I just kept going. And it's been this December 2nd, 2024 is gonna be 10 years since I went vegan, plant-based. That was the question in my head. What are the world's healthiest foods? Because I wanna consume them. And that took me down a rabbit hole again. That's what made me finally decide to become plant-based vegan and stay with it, is that I realized that food was what was causing me all the health issues that I had. Now this next question, number 5, I get this a lot. What's my favorite food? What is my favorite thing to eat? Now that's a 2-part answer. I'm gonna tell you what is my favorite food when I wasn't vegan, because that has a lot to do with how I cook. That's why I love my food to be flavorful. So before I went plant-based or vegan, my favorite foods, or categories I'm gonna say, was Caribbean food. Obviously I'm Jamaican, my mother is Cuban, so anything in that Caribbean, Latin I absolutely love. I love some stew peas. I love ackee and saltfish. I love, oh gosh, there's so much. Stew peas, I think, was at the top of my list. I love some stew peas. Snapper, escovitch fish, anything Jamaican. When I tell you I love it, I love kidney. I used to love some kidney with green plantain and dumpling. How could I forget jerk? I love me some jerk chicken. Man, I love jerk anything. In the plant-based category, the foods that I love, that's hard. That's a hard one to choose because I love to eat. I love food. If I had to categorize it, Caribbean is at top, number one. The second group of foods that I love is Asian, with Korean being right there. And you probably could tell by the way I cook. Those are my favorites. I couldn't even tell you. Right now at this moment, I'm loving these shredded tofu cabbage slaw wraps. But gosh, I just love food. Bring me something that's good, that tastes good, I'm gonna eat it. I try on a regular though to stick to foods that are healthy. You know, foods that are gonna make me feel good. You know, I just try to spice it up a little bit. And like I said in the beginning, because I'm going through menopause, you know, I have to be really, really mindful of what I'm eating. The doctor suggested, obviously, foods that are good for menopause, like, you know, make sure I'm consuming a lot of protein. So protein sources, vegan protein sources, I try to do a lot. Chia seeds, hemp seeds, chickpeas, anything like that. I'm trying to consume, you know, more of it. Tofu, tempeh, because those are very high in protein. Also trying to get as much juice in my body as possible. A lot of juice and exercise, less stress, and meditation. So those are, for right now, I don't want to make this video too long, but for right now, those are the top 5 questions that you guys keep asking. Keep asking the questions and I'll keep doing more of these little sit downs. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thank you guys so much for being a part of my vegan kitchen. And maybe next time I'll tell you how I started my vegan kitchen and what I'm doing now in life, and you know, what my past life was like, what kind of career I had before, and why I love my life now. So thank you for spending the time with me. Guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, tap on that bell, and I'll see you next time. I'll be filming more. Even though my kitchen is still being remodeled, I'm still filming. So you're still gonna get the recipe. Don't forget to go to my website. There's tons of recipes there. Check out my Instagram. Every day I post. And I'll see you guys next time for delicious plant-based meals. Bye guys. Bye.